I've been wanting to make this video for quite a long time because, strictly speaking, I am a tech enthusiast. I've been one for pretty much all my life. I can say I had my first. Let me just switch off this dice. It's making a lot of noise. So I had my first phone close to 23, 24 years back when I was in my 10th grade. So I have been using technology for a long time. I'm a sucker for tech, you know. I've had PDAs, I've had pretty much everything. The main reason why I want to do this video is because I want to talk about just one thing, you know, this, my iPhone. I have a love-hate relationship with this phone. I've been wanting to change it every single year. Like every single year, I get the latest iPhone, and then 6 months down the line, the new Samsung comes out, and then you know what? I buy it anyway because I be like, you know what? This year, I'm going to switch. I'm going to switch to the Samsungs because they have the flippy screens, they have the folding screens, they got everything. But somehow, there are just a few things which are so important and are so critical that I keep coming back to the iPhone. Now, I've written down some of the things, I think probably in the order of the most important ones, so that you guys can see on why I'm just unable to, give up on the iPhone. Now, the very first thing is, of course, AirDrop. So, I'm a gynecologist, I'm a doctor, and I do a lot of content online. I give a lot of information content online. So I'll have to shoot those videos at home, and then I need to give it to my editing team for them to edit. I mean, this video I'm going to edit myself. So that's why it's going to not have too many bells and whistles. But when I give to the editing team, it is so simple. I can just airdrop the files directly to them. I mean, they use Macs, and they don't use Macs. I have given them Macs and I've given them iPhones, so that it's easier workflow for us, instead of us taking out a hard drive and giving it, plugging it into the phone, going to the file management app, going and clicking the file, moving it to that, and then giving it to them. It's a long process. AirDrop, it's as simple as just clicking on the file, sharing it to them. And I would say that is like one of the main reasons why I like the iPhone. And unfortunately, Samsung was not able to do this for me. I believe there are similar things on the Windows as well, but trust me, guys, when you have a software like Final Cut Pro, there is no way that you would like to use anything else. Efficiency in time, I think Final Cut with the Macs are just phenomenal. Reason number two, I can copy some text on my Mac and I can get it pasted right here on my phone. I mean, how cool is that? Because there are so many times I keep browsing through something, I am unable to browse any further. I would like to just, like I want to look at that, an article, and I'll have to go out. Maybe I have a case and I need to go up. So I'd like to see it on my phone. So I just copy it here, paste it here, and voila, the link is out here, and it becomes so much easier for me and so much convenient to read it on the fly. Now that kind of flexibility I don't find with an Android phone. Not only that, passwords, bank account details, so many things, which I needed to copy and paste immediately. It was so much easier for me to do because of the seamless integration of the Macs and the iPhones. I can just copy from something here and put it here. The stock apps, what the iPhone gives us is just phenomenal. Like the reminders, the notes, they are seamlessly synced on my Mac. And for all those people who say, you know what, you can use Google Reminders and you can use, Google Keep. I did try those apps, but it doesn't come close to Apple Reminders. Neither does, the Google Notes or anything close to Apple Notes. The Google Keep, it's going to be a challenge. I can probably see it on my phone, but if I need to research with it on my laptop, well, I need to go into Chrome, which has to be online, and only then you'll be able to get into the notes. So there's a lot of catches which Google has done, which makes it very challenging for me to move away from Apple Notes and Apple Reminders for that as well, because Apple Reminders has this lovely thing of geofencing. So the moment I come into my hospital, I know, yeah, this is what I need to be reminded about. The moment I leave my hospital, I should be like, yeah, this is what I need to be. I mean, that geofencing is just absolutely amazing. And the perfect thing is, if even I forget to check my phone, it's always there on my laptop. So the laptop also reminds me that, hey, you know what, it's time for you to do this thing because you have entered the hospital or you left the hospital or blah blah blah. This is probably like one of my most used features. For example, I'm going on a commute and I love traveling in my bike, right? And I use the AirPods Pro. Again, ecosystem, but say what you will with the ecosystem, I don't see any Android phone having this kind of capability. I get a call, like I'm on my bike, I get a call saying that, you know what, so and so is calling you, would you want to answer the phone? And I immediately say yes, and then the call connects. I mean, it's as simple as that. If I get a message, it'll be like, do you want me to read the message to you? And all I have to say is yes. I mean, how awesome is that? And I don't see any other phone having this. I tried the Samsung Buds, I've tried the Google Buds, I've tried them with their counterpart phones, I've tried Pixel phones, I've tried Samsung phones. Nothing comes close. Even though, you know, Samsung or Google, they make phones and they are Android phones, it is impossible for you to set your Google Photos as your gallery. I mean, how absurd is that, right? It's a Google phone, guys. You should be able to use and set that as your gallery. Why is this important? Because most of these Android phones have two separate galleries. One is the gallery which is provided by the phone, and the other one is the Google Photos, which is on the cloud. Now in Apple, there's only just one gallery. Either if it is on the cloud or it's on your phone, wherever it is, just one place. Now, why is this important? Because if I need to share something on social media, or if I need to share something anywhere, it always defaults to the gallery app, not to Google Photos. Even if I need to edit a photo, I need to go into my Google Photos and then edit it. If I need to share a photo, I need to go into my Google Photos. You are using Instagram, right? And I want to share a photo I have taken, but unfortunately it is not on my gallery, it is only in my Google Photos. If I go into Instagram, click on the plus button, and I can only get the photos which are on my gallery. I will never be able to get the photos which are on my Google Photos. For that, I need to download the photo from Google Photos and then share that photo again from the app. So it is very cumbersome. Even though I have Apple's plan, which I'll be talking to you about soon, I do use Google Photos a lot. So I did buy the extra space which I get from Google. In Google Photos, I cannot download multiple images on an Android phone. Like, for example, I want to select multiple photos from my Google Photos and move it into my gallery. I cannot do it on an Android phone, but surprisingly enough, on the iPhone, I can select multiple images over there and then download it with a single click of a button. Why does Google make it difficult for us to use an Android phone? I have absolutely no idea. Not only that, in your gallery as well, you cannot favorite many pictures at one time. Like, imagine you see a couple of photos, you want to select all of them and click on the favorite button, so it's easier for you to recall, easier for you to keep it in a folder. Google phones don't let you do that, Android phones don't let you do that. But on an iPhone, the gallery app, even though I don't like the new gallery app, it's still more functional than what Samsung or Pixel has ever provided me with. If you ever used an Apple keyboard, you know how amazing and seamless it is. The only thing which comes very close to that is the Google keyboard. And unfortunately, if you're on a Samsung phone, you need to download that Google keyboard separately and use it. And even then, the haptics what you get from that, I think nothing beats the iPhone in terms of typing, and especially because you are touching the screen most of the time, you really want those good haptics. And you know what? iPhone, trust me, hands down has the best haptics. So on your phone, you have these various focus modes, right? This is just amazing because for every focus mode, I have a different home screen set. Because at work, I use different apps, at home, I use different apps, and at the gym, I use different apps. Now, on an Android device, you can have different lock screens for the focus modes, but you cannot change the home screens. I think the only reason for why you want to have a focus mode is to change your home screen, not the lock screen. So that I don't know why Samsung doesn't let you do that. In India, we have another advantage. For 365 rupees a month, you get Apple Music. So you don't have to pay for subscription for Spotify. You get Apple Arcade. I mean, my kids use it a lot because it's also family. As in, for 365 rupees, my whole family can use it. Like, if they want to download any games from the Apple Arcade, they can do it as well. I have my own email ID. I mean, I have my own domain, so I can have my own personal email ID, uh, which again you need to spend extra if in case you're going into things. So all of these services, they're able to combine it and give you at a price of 365 rupees. I'll probably be charged a lot more. But imagine getting all the Apple services, even the Apple TV Plus, even though I don't use it, it's also available for those who want to use it. And all of that for 365, I think it's a steal. And plus they give you 200 GB of internal storage as well, although I don't use that again because I do have 2 TB of Google storage. 200 GB is not a small amount. My wife uses an iPhone as well, so unfortunately, we both have different alarms set. Sometimes, very few times, her alarm sometimes starts ringing much more. So what I did is I just said, "Hey Siri, stop the alarm." Okay, Siri got activated. I'm sorry. I like, "Hey S, stop the alarm." And you know what happened? Do you want to stop the alarm on your wife's iPhone? I was shocked. I mean, Siri even understands that there are two iPhones over there and they communicate with each other and was able to do that. I don't know what else is possible. I think this was something fascinating which I discovered, but that it did. The other thing is, I want to say some of the applications work best on the iPhone. Like most of the ones which I used, right? Social media apps, business apps, finance apps, all of them works best on the iPhone. And unfortunately, some apps which I really want, like I use Moneywiz for accounting purposes, and that app is not even there on the Android ecosystem. I mean, it sucks. So another reason why I have to come back to the iPhone. WhatsApp images keep displaying on my gallery. I know you can always go and hide it, but there's always this one thing in the back of my mind. Because I am in a lot of groups, and these groups have hundreds and hundreds of members, and God knows what they keep sending in the WhatsApp. And you know what? In India, WhatsApp is like the only way of communication. People communicate all kinds of junk. So there's all random stuff which is downloaded onto my phone, and it is displayed on the gallery app. I know you can hide it, but the problem is it's always there in the back of your mind. Whereas on the iPhone, it doesn't really download any of these app datas into your phone. It just has it in its own app ecosystem. So, which means if you have a WhatsApp image, it is only going to stay within WhatsApp. It is not going to go into your gallery. And another smaller thing what I found is Instagram works smoothly on the iPhone, because for my work purpose I do a lot of reels, I do a lot of content on Instagram, and I felt that it is a lot more easier to make content on the iPhone than on the Android phone. There are always some hiccups. For example, let me tell you this one. I do have two separate channels, and when I am uploading a story on one channel, if I want to shift to the other channel, Instagram doesn't let me do that. I need to complete the upload before I can shift. Whereas on the iPhone, I don't have to complete the upload. While it is uploading in the background, I can always shift into my other profile. I think that makes it more easier and more faster for me to start pushing out content. So if you are someone who needs to use this for social media, iPhone is the way to go. Right. And coming to the last 2 points, memojis. Like, I know Samsung also gives you an option of those emojis, but they look so terrible. The memojis on the iPhone, on the other hand, actually look good. I mean, the models are made well, and they look more cuter, I would say, than the ones which are there on the Samsung phones. But as I said, whenever I shifted to Samsung, I could never use those things what they have given me. But memojis, I do use them from time to time in the social media apps. The widgets look absolutely amazing on the iPhone. In Samsung and Android phones, somehow, looks like companies go in all different directions. Some of them have square borders, some of them have rounded borders, some of them are different colors. So it gets very jarring when you see the phone. They look so seamless, right? It looks so nice to see. But the same thing you don't get on an Android. It's always all over the place. And of course, let me also not talk about the benefits what you get from an Apple Watch, because that is a completely different topic. I mean, I use an Apple Watch. I've been trying to not use it, but somehow or the other, for my fitness, for my step counting, for everything, my Apple Watch is a go-to. I really love wearing my watches, but for some reason, the moment Apple Watch came into my life, I was just unable to move or unable to change to anything else. Now, all of these things what I'm explaining might sound like first world problems, but if you're anything like me, you know that you're stuck here as well. Because I did definitely try to move to Android by either using the S25 Ultra. I've used the S25 Ultra, I've used the Fold, I've used the Fold 6, I've used the Pixel XL, I've used the Pixel 9 Fold, I've used everything. But for some reason, always come back to the iPhone. And no matter how much I convince myself that this year I'm not going to use it, it just has that one factor which is going to draw you back. All right, that's it for this video. I think it's just like a big rant, but I just want to talk about this. I mean, it's nothing specific. It's not like I'm a tech. It's not like I'm a tech YouTuber. It's not like I'm going to take on MKBHD. It's just that I want to talk about why I prefer the iPhone over the Samsung phones, and Alright, if you like the video, I hope you enjoyed it, and if you want, you can subscribe, but I don't know if I'll be making any more of these. But if you did find it useful, why don't you let me know something in the comments down below. Maybe I can get maybe I can understand some of your thoughts as well. Alright, and yeah, until the next one, see you, have a great day.